Himself down when he heard loud shouts rise close at hand, and had no doubt that some laborer unobserved by him had noticed him enter the hut. He sprang down again from the loft, and seizing a stake which with several others was standing in a corner, he again sallied out. As he did so he was suddenly grasped. Twisting himself free he saw a powerful Nubian armed with a hoe. Without a moment's hesitation Amuba sprang at him with his stake. The Nubian parried the blow with his hoe, and in turn dealt a sweeping blow at the lad. Amuba sprang back just in time, and before the Negro could recover his guard, struck him a heavy blow on the wrist with his stake. The Negro dropped his hoe, uttering a cry of pain and rage. Amuba followed up the blow on the wrist with one on the ankle, and as the man fell, bounded away again. But the Negro's shouts had been heard, and the pursuers were now but 50 yards away. Amuba saw that their numbers had swollen considerably, and a doubt as to his ability to escape them for the first time entered his mind. They were too close for any further attempts at concealment, and he had now only his speed to rely on. But he had already run nearly 3 miles, while many of those behind him were fresh, and he soon found that he could not again widen the space between them. For another 2 miles he kept ahead, at first leaping the ditches lightly and without a pause, but at last often landing in the middle, and scrambling out with difficulty. He was becoming completely exhausted now. Those who had at first taken up the chase had long since abandoned it, but as he had feared, fresh men constantly joined the ranks of his pursuers. They were but a few paces behind him when he found himself again on the highroad. A few hundred yards away he saw a chariot approaching, and feeling that further flight was hopeless, he turned, stake in hand, to face his pursuers, who were but a few paces behind him. With cries of "Kill him! Death to the insulter of the gods!" they rushed at him. Panting and breathless he defended himself as best he could, but his guard was beaten down and blows were showered upon him. He fell, but with a great effort struggled to his feet again. His senses were fast deserting him now, but he was conscious that the chariot drew up beside him, scattering his assailants right and left. He heard a voice raised in tones of indignant reproach, and then a renewal of the cries of hatred. He felt strong arms round him. Then he was lifted, and for a time became unconscious. End of chapter 13.